Hello again everyone. As promised, this is going to be my first little instruction video. I noticed in the last one when I was saying hello to you all that the Cocker Spaniels in the background, that might become a feature of these videos. Anyway, they're all going to be good fun. So the first one we're going to be doing is on the short game, chipping and almost like soft pitching really. What I try and do is think of this in stations. Quite often when we practice, what we tend to do is we either, in this case, we'd be putting up a bucket or a chipping net, and we're probably at some point we've been trying to chip balls in there. But I feel there's a process before that what should happen. So I try and do things in stations. The first thing is strike. Can I strike the ball consistently? The second station would be distance. Can I judge my distance? And then my third station would be target. I want the ball to land on that spot, roll that far using whatever club that you use. So the first thing we're going to concentrate on is strike. Okay, so I'm going to hit a few shots, and all I'm going to see if I can strike the ball consistently. That was nice. Bad, maybe a tiny bit behind the ball. And that was nice. So I'm trying to get that strike first. I wouldn't even contemplate thinking about in target until I'm confident that my strike is consistent. So what do I think about in my short game, my pitching? Well, I think we all sort of grew up, you know, or certainly I did, with this sort of, maybe the ball sort of right of centre, hands forward. Whatever you do, don't let the hands sort of, or the club head, sorry, overtake the hands. And we used to get into this position. Now, as you're probably aware, with wedges these days, they're so good, and you've got to use the bounce of the club. So if with the hands this far forward, what this will encourage is this sort of digging action, a steep angle of attack, and that's when we tend to thin them. Then quite often what we see to counteract that, we go from steep and then we do this to try and shallow things out. So I actually have my ball very slightly just left to centre. I try and stand quite square in my stance, that's my preference. Hands very, very slightly in front, but not to the extent where we get like this. So if I can do this correctly, what I'm trying to do is get the whole of the sole to hit the ground at the same time. I don't want too much shaft lean, and I don't want to present the front of the wedge too much. So if I can get the whole of the sole to hit the ground at the same time, then that should ensure my strike. So in my backswing, I try and feel like I'm going to get nice and wide. And then on the way through, I feel that my body is going to turn through with the ball, like this. Okay, so my personal fault is when I'm coming down, I get the club, this angle here, too steep. And that's what gets me into that sort of position which I struggle with. So my thought on the way down is I try and feel that I almost sort of trying to reduce that angle. So you can see that's the reverse of that. And then I feel that my body can turn through. And then I get what's called that, first one, that sort of nice flight controlled strike. And if you can do this properly, because you'll get what's called, you know, consistent flight, it'll be a consistent trajectory. Whereas people that tend to get this way, they'll come out low, and then one will come out high. And then really, in the next video, the distance control will be almost impossible. So I'm just gonna hit a couple more now. So set here, wide that way. I try and reduce the angle there and then turn my body through. And again, nice. Okay, so if you can, between now and the next video, just go away, put your targets away, just get the strike correct, and then we'll go into the distance control from there. Thank you.